But there's one browser which has basically become the center of the internet storm. My problem is that they actually don't have monetization sorted. We have iJustine and we have Dave 2D or Dave Lee.
Look at this, 37.65%.
Is this the highest we have seen?
Yes,
Wow.
it is. First of all, the fact that they have a head of storytelling is just
I
amazing.
love that. I love that too. Yeah, I saw that. Oh, you actually have more male? What? Interesting. More males are watching.
Failed
watching
cooking
our-
attempts they're watching.
Exactly. So, as a person sitting in the ARC marketing team, Shubham, I think I'm not really liking the pitch for me. When you want to surf the internet, there are a few options you have to go for. By the way, I'm talking about surfing because I'm wearing flamingos and I'm in a beach mode, although I'm not at a beach. But when you want to surf the internet, there are a few options that you can choose. There's Chrome, Microsoft Edge, I've been using right now, and there are a few others, Mozilla Firefox, Opera. But there's one browser which has basically become the center of the internet storm. It has taken people by surprise. People have started using it for productivity, for time management, for creation. People swear by it. And guess what? They raised a round of funding too. Welcome to this episode of Influencer Matchmaking, where we'll be speaking about the browser company. The browser company, if that doesn't ring a bell, how about Arc Browser? Arc Browser is all across Twitter, some of LinkedIn as well. People are loving it. But here today on this episode of Influencer Matchmaking by Thousand Faces Club, powered by Phyllo, we're going to be speaking about Arc Browser, the internet browser company, and whether or not they can work with creators, and if they work with creators, can they solve the monetization problem? The creators that we have, of course, are very big, perhaps the biggest we've seen on this episode, on this series. And on this episode we have two of them. We have iJustine and we have Dave 2D or Dave Lee. But before we speak about the creators, I want to see what Shubham is up to, if Shubham is also surfing somewhere or if he's just on the internet. Shubham, how's it going?
Well, it's going well. Our story arc is changing. Story arc,
Story
because
arc.
people loved our Figma episode. So thank you everyone for watching that.
Absolutely.
And here we are. This is a new act, let's say act two now. We are
Act 2,
pretty
Act 2.
excited to bring more episodes like that. And particularly this one, because
Yeah.
Arc browser is something that feels new age.
Sure, sure.
Right.
Why
And
do you say that
speaking,
though, Shubham? Why do you say that?
because they are not playing by the rules, they are using AI, the presentation, because we are very accustomed to a browser like Chrome, where
Sure,
everything
sure,
has to be in one order. Every browser more or less looks the same, but
sure,
Arc is pretty different.
sure.
I'm not sure the learning curve is very steep. I guess I've heard that, but I have
I
enjoyed it.
also I also heard that. So, my introduction to Arc has also been something that has really become a part of, what, you first have to take time with it. And I'm like, what do you
Yeah,
mean I have to take time with the browser, right? Because if you think about it, Shubham, browsers are basically like, you have a few options and you can go for, any one of them. But Arc is doing something special. But my biggest grudge though, Shubham, like I really appreciate their features and they have a bunch of like interesting things you can do. We were mentioning AI and you can summarize things. My problem is that they actually don't have monetization sorted. And let me repeat the numbers here of their funding. They raised $50 million at a $550 million valuation,
wow, it's
and they still
impressive.
haven't figured out revenue. They still haven't figured out monetization. Of course, in startups we all know that they're chasing growth and they're chasing users, and then they think about things. But I think we're at a stage where creators and influencers and influencer marketing can really help, right? If you want more users, and then perhaps you can use these creators not just as creators but also strategists to help you monetize. To how do you sort of work with it? So
Yeah,
this is also obviously on the heels of MKBHD and Ridge, right? MKBHD and Ridge are working together, where he's joined the board. He's not just providing content, but also strategy, also some
yeah,
insights around the tech world. So today we have two very big creators show up because they are very popular, right? Usually we go for like slightly, people in the niche, people there. But let's not forget that Arc has a great budget. I'm assuming that the Arc's marketing team right now, they are flush with funds. And we have two interesting creators that we want to cover, Shubham. So who do you think we should go for first? Should we go for iJustine or should we go for Dave 2D?
let's go with Dave Lee first.
Awesome. Let us go with Dave Lee, Dave 2D.
And I'll also add one point to your, when you said that they have not figured out monetization yet. I would say sometimes it's about the vision of the product, right? People are placing bets that we are all trying to find out what lays ahead in the future. And of course, future belongs to creators. So you have to seek their collaboration at least, if not their
Correct.
guidance.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I totally agree with that. that that needs to be sort of sorted out.
So we have Dave 2D on our Insight
Yes,
IQ.
yes, yes, yes. We have Dave today, Shubham. Let's look at the numbers for Mr. Dave Lee. Right off the bat, what do you think about his performance? Right, I think I'm pretty impressed. If you look at just the number of subscribers, when you look at the average likes per post, average views also, Shubham, they're
Amazing. It's
much
almost
better than.
20%. Yeah.
Correct, 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 right. So I think I really love that engagement rate. Again, I was honestly expecting it to be slightly higher, though of course it is higher than median, but I was expecting it to be even higher. So okay, we didn't do that. You had a very interesting thing to say about his top content, Shubham. So let's sort of go to there.
I mean, whenever we look at the top content of any creator, it's usually about, let's say, for a tech YouTuber, it's usually about the, let's say, the best product in the category, like iPhone, right?
Sure.
MacBook Air, something like that. But here we have something very obscure.
Yeah.
Lenovo Legion Go is a crazy tool.
Correct.
So I thought it's not more about the product; it's about
Sure.
the creator who can
Yeah.
bring the spotlight on any product. Let's say, so
Correct.
it's the
Correct.
power
Or
of a
even a
creator.
browser for that matter, Shubham. Even a browser.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's the power of the creator who can
Absolutely.
shift the focus on something he or she wants.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
and you can look at the second one, another laptop cleaning, very basic thing,
Yeah.
right?
Laptop cleaning. I think that's a very not something that you would expect as a top video, but I mean
Yeah.
clearly it is done extremely well, and it's
And
2021. So
yeah, and another point that you should look at is all the products are very different. One
sure.
is crazy tool, another is laptop, then a phone, then unboxing. So
Yeah.
it's like it talks a lot about the power of the creator. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
And I think a lot of trust, Shubham. Like a lot of people, if they're looking at a bunch of devices, they're like, you know what, it's okay. Whatever Dave today is saying, I trust him on the hardware. Software perhaps also, right? If I'm, let's say, and I think it's a good enough transformation that okay, if I'm someone who's suggesting you hardware, you might want to follow me what I use for software as well. I think it's a nice correlation that we can play
Yeah,
with, and that works well with
it's
Dave
a
today as well.
great dynamic. So let's
Yeah.
let's jump into comments analysis as well, because we have
Sure.
seen clearly that people are following this guy. Whatever
Sure.
he's
Sure.
trying to show, they're interested in it. Look at this, 37.65%.
Is this the highest we have seen?
Yes, it
Wow.
is.
It really is, right? Because I don't remember the last time, it was this high.
It is through the roof. I think on Insight IQ, this is the most we have seen for any creator.
This is just
And
magical.
look at the audience sentiment, 75% positive.
Sure.
That's amazing for such a high intent to buy, almost 38%.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You have
So,
17% negative and 75% positive. Yeah.
so I mean, it paints a picture of Dave Lee where he's super serious, he's knowledgeable, he
Yeah.
knows his, shit, and
Correct.
he can like grab people's attention
Correct.
on anything what he wants.
Correct. Correct. And people are actually willing to, pay top
Yeah,
dollar to sort of, whatever, listen to him and get his stuff, which I really appreciate.
yeah. Let's look at the growth figures here.
Wow. Okay. This is something crazy happening right here.
Yeah. So likes, of course, dipped around March. I mean, steady decline. But look at the growth in terms of subscribers.
Wow.
What happened here? I mean, from for the last three
February.
months, it
Some
was not.
launch, perhaps? I mean, that's what I'm guessing.
That's a good one. Maybe some product,
Some
tech
product
product.
launch. Some tech product launch. Just look at that.
Yeah.
Insane. I
So hockey
completely.
sticks, reverse hockey sticks are here. So which is not bad.
Yeah, but like Scott Shubham, I'm kind of disappointed though. Like if people are, in the intent to, but of course you do see a path to recovery,
Yeah.
but then it crashing down in March, while you had a new launch. I think it's interesting, but sure, I think the numbers that we're looking at, the magnitude for this creator is just on another level. So we have to
Another
also
level.
cut him
Yeah.
some slack there.
20K
Yeah, yeah,
likes. Wow.
for sure. That is
Now
quite interesting.
let's jumping into the
What?
audience.
I don't believe this
93.
actually. This is just incredible. Shubham, the audience distribution is 93% male. It's basically tech bros. It's consumer tech bros. Is that what it is?
Yeah, tech bros, and I'm pretty sure the 7.1% female, females are also. like the, of course,
Yeah.
very tech savvy, ultra
Yeah.
tech, ultra
Texas.
techies, Texas,
Texas. I
no
love
pun
that.
intended.
No pun intended at all. But look at his. So 93% is also crazy. I think Dave Today
Yeah,
did not expect it to be this skewed. But Shubham,
yeah.
let's look at the audience by country. US is 22. India.
India's
We've
44,
and
14.5.
folks, we've seen this in Inside IQ, and this is one of my favorite things that we've done so far on influencer matchmaking. Where whenever we see that there's a high skew of males, we also see that a lot of Indians are doing it, which
That's a
is
good point.
what can be derived. There are a lot of these Indians, let's say engineers or people working in the IT space. And I remember Shubham had very interestingly mentioned that India is like the IT, like there are three countries in the world, three, four countries which are the hubs
Yeah,
of IT. And India is actually one of them, right?
yeah.
So
This is
that's why you find so many
correct. Right
views.
out of tech ecosystem. I mean, look at, you need United States, you need India, and you need couple of countries from Southeast Asia
Sure,
and
sure.
one European country.
Yeah.
It's
And
it's
boom,
the
I think
package.
I think for Arc, if Arc is going for global domination, I already have found my creator. Right? Like it's
Yeah,
it's as simple as that. But again, the male skew is a bit alarming. Like I'm sure nobody would want to, do such a heavy skew towards males. It's a bit much. I would say 93% is almost uncomfortable at
but I
this
would say
point.
these tech bros are, the early adopters, right?
Sure.
You need
That's
them to cross
yeah,
that chasm.
that's there.
Once
That's
you do that, then the people, the
no,
skeptics will
I
follow.
do agree. I do agree that it does. They are the ones who sort of latch onto things on
Yeah,
Twitter and everywhere. But look at this, right? The demographics,
yeah,
um,
perfectly
uh,
aligned with
perfectly
people who
aligned
are
to
on
it.
internet.
Absolutely, because let's say you're in college, and I think a lot of people like the way they use the internet in college is very different from what they do it in school. Because in college you do
Yeah,
assignments, you do homeworks, you need to do so much of research for your dissertation, and I think there a browser would be great. And if Dave Today is like, you know what, there's also a browser that I'm working with and I really love for my research. How do I write my videos? I use Arc for it, and people are like, what?
yeah,
Oh, this is so cool. So I feel that there is great amount of synergy that's already been established, Shumam. I do
right.
have some concerns though when it comes to the likes dropping and like the gender skew for me is. I mean, I get the point about the early adopters, but I'd still loved a bit of diversity. But I think we're pretty. We've scored big with the first creators. All I'll say.
Yeah,
Yeah,
amazing. Let's jump to the next creator on Inside IQ,
absolutely, absolutely.
and we this time hopefully we have more females.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we will. Like that's my guess at least.
So we have I Justine.
Okay, we have Miss I Justine. She does tech, video games, failed cooking attempts, vlogs, and more. Very very popular YouTuber again.
Yeah,
One
much
of
bigger.
perhaps the
Yeah.
most popular tech YouTuber, women tech YouTubers for sure. 7 million subscribers. Sure, engagement is poor. Like it is.
Yes,
It is
it
really
is
not
not
good.
good. Yeah, because to be at 0.05% and be lower than median by 0.1, which is
Yeah,
more than double of your engagement rate, is
sure.
kind of bad.
It is kind of bad. Like I would not lie. And
Because our average views per video is less than, half of what Dave Lee was getting.
correct, correct. And the number of subscribers are double of that. So you can just do the math there. Her
Yeah.
subscribers are double of Dave Today, but the views per video are half of him. So okay,
I think
yeah,
this also speaks a bit about what kind of content you're creating, right? Because
sure,
some creators change their, course along the way.
yeah,
Like if you are showing me failed cooking attempts, blogs, then suddenly a tech video, then
yeah,
a video game, I may not be interested, right? If I'm a
sure.
subscriber of, let's
Just give me
say
the tech.
tech, yeah, tech stuff, then, and if your
Yeah,
two videos out of 10 are about tech, then I will not watch the other eight.
sure, sure.
So
No, I
that
do, I
might
do
be the
agree with that.
reason.
I do agree with that. In fact, let's look at the top content to see what people really
Yes.
like.
So it's the complete opposite. You can see, I mean, iPhones, everywhere iPhones. So
I think her name,
again,
Shubham I Justine, is quite a,
oh,
quite a.
it's a good catch.
Yeah, it's quite a homage to the Apple products in that sense.
Damn, yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
Maybe,
yeah,
maybe
yeah. So I
it's
think that is
deliberate.
that. Okay, okay. Now this is getting interesting, Shubham, because intent to buy is again. I would
It's
not
good.
say it's too bad. I
It's
would
good.
not say it's bad.
Yeah.
It's just that Dave Today has just blown off our expectations. So now we're like 10%. That's But 10% folks is good. I will not say that it's not good. It is actually quite healthy. But things
Yeah,
get tricky then, Shubham. Things get tricky in the audience sentiment part because I do not like the sound of less than 50% to be
yeah.
positive.
That's a good way to put it. Like less than
Yeah.
50% is a bit of a red flag.
It is a red flag, quite literally, because you have the reds of the negative coming,
Yeah,
and it just shows that people. And I think what you mentioned perfectly, right? Like when it comes to trying out different content, ki, oh, here's a failed cooking attempt. Oh, here's a vlog. People are perhaps like some of them are just bouncing from those videos,
yeah,
and some of them are like, hey, I don't want this. This is just crap. I don't want to be a part of this. Why are you uploading this? And I think there's a lot of
right.
chatter there, but there are some intent to buy is quite high as well. So that is also one part of the place.
Now look at this. So
What
what
do we
happened
say here?
here? This is a bit
This is just
weird.
this is something
We have not seen before.
we have not seen before. It's like a little tent.
Yeah. So
Yeah, it's like
I'm
yeah,
pretty sure there is a drop in terms of subscriber numbers. This
yeah,
is, I mean, actually weird. I've not seen anyone losing subscribers like this.
yeah. You gained subscribers and then you just lost them. Like, what's happening here, man?
Yeah.
And then look at this. I think she also had a drop in likes, and then it kind of
Yeah.
stabilized, getting better. But again, the likes have steadily fallen, Shubham. So are we looking at a creator whose peak is behind her, who's perhaps not doing
Yeah.
what she used to be known for, which is iPhone
Maybe
video?
someone who needs to update her content
Yeah,
strategy.
I think that's a good one. So as a person sitting in the ARC marketing team, Shubham, I think I'm not really liking the pitch for Miss I Justine. Right?
Yes.
It's not really hitting the mark for me.
Correct. At least you should be growing at a
Yeah,
steady pace. And
correct,
the 50% mark, above 50% should be there. And now coming to the
correct.
audience. So it's fairly balanced.
Fairly balanced. Oh, you actually have more male? What? Interesting. More males are
Failed
watching
cooking
her.
attempts they're watching.
Exactly. 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 So they're watching failed cooking attempts. But
Hmm.
look at the audience again. We have this skew
Yeah.
of US and India, and
But surprisingly, Southeast Asia is a
like
bit
one Indonesia,
on the
like
lower
one
side.
small little, yeah,
Lower side, yeah.
absolutely.
Because you don't necessarily look at Canada, Australia apart from USA, right? They look
Correct.
like a package, the Western
They do.
country.
Correct.
So I mean, audience demographics is fine, distribution is fine.
Yeah. It's
This
not too
is
bad.
one positive point, I would
Yeah.
say.
And even the gender distribution is like
Yeah.
it's cool. Like
So
it's
we
not a
have
red
ticked just
flag.
one box so far.
Sure.
The intent to buy is one we missed. Growth and interest is also missing. Now let's look at the demographics.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Interesting. This
That's
clearly.
high, 10%
Yeah.
teenagers. Wow.
Even teenagers are watching I Justine. I think because I mean, for teenagers, they want to get their first phone. It's most probably an
Yeah.
iPhone, right? I
No,
can
that's a
see
good
that.
point. Yeah.
Yeah. Uh,
58%.
quite high as well.
Yeah.
58 is not low at all.
So it's
And then
again,
sort
I
of
mean,
tapers
it's
down.
fine.
Yeah.
Audience demographics in term and distribution, everything looks fine.
Yeah. Yeah. But
But overall,
overall,
what's your
sure.
verdict?
What are your final
No,
thoughts
no, you
with
have to tell me today first.
I think sure I mean it's kind of I'm very very impressed. Let me say, and this is someone not just from today's episode, Shubham, not just in today's recording, but somebody I genuinely admire as a tech YouTuber is Mr. Dave Lee, right? Because for the longest time, he's not been the most popular YouTuber when it comes to tech, right? MKBHD, obviously, let's admit it, right? He's the first name that comes to mind. But what Dave to D, and we have proven this in this episode of Influencer Matchmaking, that what Dave to D has done is that he has cultivated community. He has cultivated people, sure, mostly male, mostly
Yeah.
from the US or India,
People who
but
take tech very seriously.
people
Yeah.
who take tech very seriously, who really respect his views, who trust whatever he's suggesting. So today, if I am ARC, if I'm someone who has a lot of funding, if I want to talk about my products, I think I will definitely choose Mr. Dave Lee, Dave 2D,
Yeah.
for ARC because again, as I mentioned, that hardware to software is also smooth. He does speak about he's quite horizontal when it comes to hardware. It's when it comes to tech stuff. It's not just laptops, right? It's also phones and it's also a bunch of other gear, gaming gear as well.
Yeah.
So software can be again might be a bit of a bit of a shift, but you can always add that as a nice little plug. And I think you have to be someone who can also help them out in their strategy and, like,
Yeah.
actual business things. So
Yeah.
a great value provider and a great service provider in that sense. So I love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think that's really, really, really cool.
I mean, any company, any tech company, which is looking to cross that chasm, right, of
Yeah,
acquiring uh, customers, they should look at Dave Lee seriously, because he has those early adopters with him
he
who
does.
will
He
try
does.
anything new
He
on the
does.
market.
He does. He
And
does.
I like
Absolutely.
two things, about browser company. First of all, the fact that they have a head of storytelling. That's just
I
amazing.
love that. I love that too. Yeah, I saw that.
So a storyteller, uh, if he goes for influencer marketing, I think that's the best thing,
Yeah,
and they should be able to craft a compelling story
compelling
for
story.
people to adopt. And the second factor that I really like about the browser company is their CEO, Josh
Hmm.
Miller,
Josh
fun
Miller.
guy,
Absolutely.
appears on YouTube, makes fun videos. So I think Josh should start talking to these creators himself, like
Absolutely.
Carl Pei does, right, of the
Like
Nothing
Kalpe, and
Company.
folks, do check out the Kalpe video that we've done.
Yes.
That was a fun one too. But yeah, I know, I love your points actually. That's a really brilliantly sums up. And let me just say that, of course, Dave 2D might have some imperfections, but definitely one of the strongest creators that we have seen on influencer matchmaking so far. Like across
Yeah.
all episodes we've done I think about 10 we've recorded, because this man is someone who has a grip on the audience problems. Sure, he might not have the most number of subscribers, but here is why we are telling you at Thousand Faces Club that that's not the most important metric, the
Yeah.
number of subscribers that you have, but the impact that you can create, that is possible. And folks, do check out Inside IQ. It's a great tool. We've been using it, as you know, for the longest time. And you and your team, perhaps you and your brand team, you should definitely check it out. If you want to work with influencers, definitely check out the first link in the description for Inside IQ and for Dave 2D. What else can you work
Yeah.
on? But tell us in the comments actually, which other creator, please don't say MKBHD, that's, I mean, we've discussed that. But which other creator can be a part of, the Arc company, Arc browser company, their storytelling, their
Yeah.
story. Which other creator can be a part of it? Did we miss out on any creator? We can cover in another episode. Which brand should we cover next? Let us know in the comments below. Please do subscribe, folks, because as you know, Thousand Faces Club powered by Phyllo, we do a lot of content around influencer marketing, around the creator economy. So if you want to know what's up in this entire space, what are some brands that are really doing some cool stuff, and which brands should work with which creators, that's what we cover on this series called Influencer Matchmaking. We'll be back next week for sure. Till then, I am Shreevar.
I'm Shubham.
All right, we will see you. Bye bye.